Hey guys, today we're taking a look at the new Star Wars The Black Series, Darth Malak from Knights of the Old Republic. Let's get a better look at that packaging, shall we? So I was very excited to get this figure in hand. We of course have a nice picture of Darth Malak right there. Of course, the Gaming Greats sticker right there, of course, from Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. I, of course, got this at my local comic book shop at BuyMeToys.com. Same with Bastilla from the last video. Of course, Darth Malak right there. And then we, of course, have the portrait kind of line right there. And if I go off screen to grab Bastilla's kind of stuff, we have that connectivity right there, which I think is cool with the portrait line. I think it really gives it a era to really stand apart. I like that kind of stuff. But of course, we have the nameplate of Darth Malak down there and a nice era of the figure. And we of course have a what looks like a bridge of an Old Republic ship right there. And on the back, we of course have right there, which that's basically all you need to know, except that Malak and Revan were friends before they became, yeah. And then, of course, we have 20. This is 20 of the Gaming Greats line from Star Wars KOTOR. But Bastilla will be out first, even though she's 21. So, of course, another picture of Malak right there. On the side, we, of course, have the height of the figure right there. And, of course, the saber that it comes with. Of course, the advertising for plastic-free packaging, which is kind of BS. And on the top, we have nothing. On the bottom, we have all legalese and stuff like that. And then we have the barcode, which I don't know how good the barcode is, but I've been doing it for all these reviews, so might as well stick with it, am I right? But anyway, guys, let's get this dude out of the packaging. And here is Darth Malak out of the packaging. And of course, before we take a look at the actual figure, we're of course going to take a look at all the other accessories and stuff like that, which he only has one. You can tell what it is because he's holding it. And that is, of course, his lightsaber, which he'll just act like he's holding nothing. And this saber looks bad freaking A, man. Like, this is why I love Old Republic stuff. Like, why decent people like Old Republic stuff as well, is because the hilts are awesome. It's just rad all the way around. All the stuff is cool. That's why a lot of people want them to be canon. And of course, the blade does come out. But to get a better look at that hilt there, of course, has blades on top, and then of course you got the ribbed section right there with the switch right there. Just overall a very cool looking blade right there. And of course you got the kind of like the drill bit or the little triangle thing kind of converging at the end. Very interesting lightsaber design right there. As we put that to the side, we get a better look at the figure now. But before we get into the actual details of the figure, we're of course going to take a look at some other stuff, which of course you can kind of see where I'm heading with this, is that one thing about Malak's character is that during the time where him and Revan were actually master and apprentice, because Revan was the Sith Lord and Malak was the apprentice, and that's half the reason why Revan was redeemed to be a Jedi anyway, is because he turned on Revan and fired on his ship, knocking him unconscious, and then, the Jedi did their thing. But Revan hacked off Malak's jaw because he failed. And so, if you and that's what this contraption is. And you can actually take off the bits of the prosthetic jaw right there, and you reveal this. which is disturbingly cool. Because look at that scarring. And then, of course, you have the little mic piece right there. Then the rest of the scarring over there. Then you have this little piece back here, but it looks... And then you, of course, have the implants right there. But this looks... Oh, this looks rad. Like, this looks absolutely awesome. And then you can, of course, put them on as much as you can. Let me see if I can do this on camera. There we are. Like that. And you kind of have to move his head to the side a little bit because of the cone that he has there. But then, yeah, it forms around like so. So he has his jaw like that. But besides that, he, of course, has his cone right there with the switches. He has a cloth side cape right here, which I think is very cool. And then he has this ribbed pattern, very much like the Praetorian Guards in the sequels, which I find very fascinating. Even though, if anything, they got that design from him because he's as old as me, or around that time, and I'm 20 years old. And, of course, we have the chest plate, which I think looks very interesting. Then we move down, he's got the belt with the sash, and there's actually this belt loop, and it does exactly what you think it does. You can put in the hilt, so if you really don't want to use the saber, there's a place to put his hilt, unlike Bastila. Bastila does not have a place for her lightsaber hilt, so that gives him one edge over her. And of course you go down and you get to the boots, which look very nice. And overall, just a very imposing character. He looks very cool. But let's go into the articulation. He, of course, because of the way his head is, doesn't have the most range in the head. He, of course, can look down about that far. He can look straight up. He can turn about that far, left and right. And he can kind of do some of this. Not the most range in the neck. And then he, of course, has ball-hinge shoulders, which with a little bit of the armpit disc in there. Doing that, you can rotate it a little bit as well. He has the single-jointed elbows, which are more than 90, and then you can rotate like so. And then you can also rotate the wrist, as well as roll the dice hinges, which is important because, of course, he has a lightsaber. And then with the torso, he has a decent amount of range. He can move that far forward, that far back, and of course, like so. With the legs, he has the Hasbro joints we're accustomed to. He has thigh swivel right there. He has a single jointed leg right there with rotation like so. No boot rotation like Bastila. And then, of course, we have ankle joints which hinge up and down, and ankle articulation like so. And here is Malak with all of our Legends Sith Lords that I have. So we, of course, have Dooku here, Revan. Then we, of course, have the shirtless Darth Maul. And, of course, the Vader from Obi-Wan. And you can notice the Maul is a small man. And I believe Ray Park is like 5'9" or something. So that proves like Christopher Lee is 6'4". So that means Malak is 6'4" and Vader is like 6'3". So that just goes how tall some people are in the Star Wars universe and how small others. And that also goes how much of a badass Revan is for being the Sith Master of a guy who's freaking a head taller than him. and the guy who's like literally a bowl. Like, this man is absolutely humongous. Standing next to Revan here just proves how much of a badass Revan is. But these guys look absolutely fantastic together. If you want to do like a Sith display, that would be awesome. Sith are cool. And here are all of my Old Republic figures. We of course have Revan, Darth Revan again, and then we have Jedi Revan, and of course Bastila that we took a look at in the previous review. And all of these look great. Like, all of these look great with each other, even though I think Revan should be a little taller. Like, he should be a bit taller, but not like too much taller. But besides that, I have no complaints in terms of scaling with these guys. But yeah, guys, that'll do it for this review on the Star Wars Gaming Greats Black Series KOTOR Darth Malak. Overall, I think it's a very solid figure, even though he does have some hindrances just because of, you know, Bastila had the boot swivel, he does not, so there's a little bit of restrictive in movements there. The roll of the dice hinges on him aren't as great as, let's say, Bastila. Out of the two, I'd say get Bastila before him, but he is a badass looking Sith, and what is under that cybernetic jaw is absolutely to die for. And if you're a huge fan of the Old Republic, of course get this guy. If you like Sith, of course get this guy. I think he's much more of an essential buy than Bastila, just because of how cool the character is and how much of a eye popper this guy is. Of course, a lot of Sith are like that, though, so there is that going for him. But I think the better figure is Bastila, but he is very close in second. There's just a few things that make him a slight tick lower than her. I give Malak, I'd say an 8. 7.5. 7.5. Because, of course, those hindrances in the articulation kind of hurt the figure. But in terms of aesthetic, he's absolutely fantastic. You could not ask for a better Sith figure out of him. And he is a tall boy. He's a tall boy. But, yeah, guys, that'll do it for this review. Of course, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And, as always, tell me what you think about Malak down in the comments below. Really love to see what you guys think about him. And that's it for this video. And, of course, keep collecting, keep supporting each other out there. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.